Have you ever wondered why you keep repeating the same mistakes? Why you end up in the same kind of relationships, face the same struggles, or react to life in the same patterns, no matter how much you try to change? You promise yourself you'll do better next time, that you'll stay calm, eat healthier, focus more, be different. But somehow, you slip back into the same habits, as if something deep inside you is pulling the strings. That something is real. It's the subconscious mind, a silent operator, invisible but powerful, controlling 95% of everything you think, feel, and do. And until you learn to see it, it controls your life without you even realizing it. The subconscious isn't a villain, it's ancient. It evolved to keep you alive. It runs your heartbeat, your breathing, your reflexes, and your instincts. But it also runs your patterns, the emotional loops you learned from childhood, the invisible scripts you absorbed from parents, school, culture, and experiences. Every fear, every hesitation, every self-limiting belief is stored there, buried beneath awareness, shaping how you see yourself in the world. You might think you're making conscious choices, but most of the time, your subconscious already made the decision seconds before you even felt the impulse to act. Neuroscientists have studied this for decades. Using brain imaging, they found that your brain's activity often spikes before you become aware of a decision. You think you're choosing, but in truth, the subconscious is choosing first, and consciousness simply rationalizes it afterward. You are, in many ways, living in a story your subconscious is writing in real time. It's like an unseen hand guiding every reaction, what you fear, who you trust, how you love, even what you think you deserve. Let's make that more tangible. Think about how you respond when someone compliments you. Do you instantly deflect it, saying, "Oh, it's nothing"? That might seem harmless, but it's a loop, a subconscious belief that you're not worthy of praise. Or maybe you procrastinate on projects that matter most. You tell yourself it's laziness or lack of time, but beneath it might lie a fear of failure, or even a fear of success, a hidden belief that you're not ready to handle what comes after winning. The subconscious doesn't argue logically. It just protects you according to the programming it received long ago. And the cruel truth is, most of that programming was installed when you were between 0 and 7 years old, before you even had the ability to question it. As a child, you absorbed everything, tone of voice, facial expressions, emotions, as data for survival. If your environment felt unsafe, your subconscious learned to stay quiet, to avoid risk, to please others. If love was conditional, it learned to perform for approval. If failure was punished, it learned to fear mistakes. Those early emotional lessons became automated programs that still run your adult life. You don't remember installing them, but they're there, dictating your reactions like code running silently in the background of your mind. So, when you say you want change, you want confidence, success, love, peace, but you keep hitting invisible walls, it's not because you lack willpower. It's because your conscious mind and subconscious mind are at war. The conscious mind is the thinker, logical, goal-driven, optimistic. But it's weak compared to the subconscious, which operates 1,000 times faster and stores millions of memories. Imagine trying to steer a massive ship with a small paddle. That's what it feels like when you try to consciously override your subconscious loops. But here's the incredible truth. These loops aren't permanent. The subconscious is programmable. Just like it was programmed before, it can be reprogrammed again. You can rewrite the code that runs your life. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you can't see, so you start noticing patterns. You catch yourself in the act. The moment you're about to shrink back, the moment you tell yourself, "I can't," the moment you self-sabotage right before success. That pause, that awareness, is the crack where light enters. Each time you notice a loop, you weaken its hold. Psychologists call this process bringing the unconscious to consciousness. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You start to see the machinery of your mind, the triggers, the automatic thoughts, the emotional reactions, and suddenly, you realize that they're not you. They're just patterns you learned. And once you know that, you can begin the work of rewriting them. One of the most powerful ways to reprogram these loops is repetition. The subconscious learns through repetition, emotion, and imagery. That's why affirmations and visualization work, not because they're magic, but because they give the subconscious new evidence to believe. When you consistently feed your mind new patterns, I am capable, I deserve peace, I attract opportunities, and you combine those words with real emotion, the subconscious starts updating its software. Over time, it replaces fear-based programs with ones built on confidence and clarity. You stop reacting from old wounds and start responding from conscious choice. Let's go deeper. The subconscious doesn't speak English or any spoken language. It speaks through feelings, symbols, and sensory experiences. That's why trauma, music, and art can move us so deeply. They bypass logic and speak directly to the subconscious. This is also why meditation, hypnosis, and journaling are so powerful. They create a bridge between your conscious awareness and your subconscious landscape. When you're in a relaxed state, the barrier between the two lowers, and you can plant new ideas like seeds into fertile soil. But here's the paradox. Most people never take the time to do this inner work. They keep trying to change from the outside. New job, new partner, new city, new plan. But if the subconscious pattern remains the same, life keeps looping. You'll meet the same problems in new forms until you learn the lesson they're trying to teach. Life is not repeating itself, you are. The subconscious repeats what it knows, not what you want, because it mistakes familiarity for safety. Even if something hurts, if it's familiar, the subconscious clings to it. That's why we stay in toxic relationships, repeat self-destructive habits, and settle for less. The subconscious would rather be miserable in certainty than happy in the unknown. So how do you break free? You start by questioning your emotional autopilot. Every time you react strongly, stop and ask, where have I felt this before? That question takes you backward, to the root memory that created the loop. Maybe your fear of rejection started with a parent's criticism. Maybe your scarcity mindset began the first time you felt you didn't have enough. When you trace the emotion back, you expose the original wound. And once it's seen, it starts to lose power. The loop only survives in darkness. Awareness is the light that dissolves it. Reprogramming also means feeding your mind new experiences. The subconscious updates through evidence, not wishful thinking. So you must give it proof. Take small actions that contradict your old story. If your loop says you're not good enough, do something that shows you are. Speak up, take the opportunity, finish what you start. Each small victory sends a signal to the subconscious. See? The old story isn't true anymore. Layer by layer, belief by belief, you rewrite your inner code. Here's what's truly empowering. Once you start shifting your subconscious, the outer world starts shifting too. People treat you differently because your energy feels different. Opportunities appear that once seemed invisible. You begin to attract experiences that match your new inner frequency. It's not magic, it's psychology. The subconscious mind filters reality through confirmation bias. It notices what aligns with its beliefs and ignores what doesn't. So when you change your inner beliefs, you literally change what you perceive as possible. You stop seeing life through the lens of fear and start seeing it through the lens of potential. But remember, awareness alone isn't enough. You have to act differently. The subconscious learns through action reinforced by emotion. That's why courage is so powerful, not because it removes fear, but because it teaches your subconscious that fear is survivable. Every time you step through discomfort, you send a message to your deeper mind. We are safe even when we grow. And the moment your subconscious believes growth is safe, your entire life begins to transform. You were never truly stuck. You were just looping, repeating the same mental programs because they once kept you safe. But you're not that child anymore. You don't need those old defenses. You can choose new ones built on awareness, confidence, and truth. The subconscious mind is a faithful servant, not a master. Once you train it to work for you instead of against you, everything changes. So the next time you find yourself repeating an old pattern, pause and smile. You're not broken. You're just replaying a loop. And in that moment of awareness, you have the power to do something extraordinary. Rewrite it. Because the loops that once controlled your life can become the lessons that free it. And when that happens, you stop being a prisoner of your subconscious and start becoming the author of your reality.